This is a 1934 Pontiac 8. This car is a registered HPOF champion for the Historic Preservation of Original Features Car Club. This club is an AACA division, the Antique Auto Club of America, originating in 1935. This club is dedicated to the preservation and/or restoration of vehicles 25 years or older, and they judge the Hershey Park Antique Car Show in Hershey, Pennsylvania each October. This is James. He's the proud owner of this 34 Pontiac. In his hands is an award given to him by the International Pontiac Association of America as recognition of preservation and rarity. To put it in context, owning this car is just as rare as catching a cotton candy lobster, or even owning an original VHS tape of Stephen King's It. We all love big trucks like this, and rare things like this, and big turbos like this. However, I want to slow down and explore something special with you. On this episode of Tinker Time, please relax and enjoy exploring this one-of-a-kind piece of automotive history with me. Mr. James Rogers.
Jason.
1934 Pontiac 8.
Correct.
We're here at the Hershey Car Show, the AACA event. They have it once a year, right?
Yes.
Once a year. You've been here every year since
2006, except for one that it rained.
Hopefully it never rains again.
It always rains sometimes.
So they've been doing this since 1955, 66 years.
Oh,
and you've been here since 69 years. My dyslexia is kicking in. So where did you get it?
I found it in my hometown of Pennsylvania.
And you picked it up for the low price
of $4,000.
Wow. I would say it's $1 million worth of car.
No.
But for me, it is. So some of the key features that you have that some of the other ones won't be found with are going to be like this original hood ornament and a super clean grill, right?
That's original to all the 34s. The front bumper is an option.
Oh, these pieces.
The whole bumper.
Oh, the whole bumper is an option. So you don't have just...
These are an option. You took a picture under the hood with the two horns.
Mm-hmm.
The other horn, the supertone horn, is an option.
And there's any other key features from the exterior that maybe your car has that the other ones don't?
Just the second tail light in the back was an option.
The second tail light in the back.
And the bumper guards in the back bumper also.
Really cool.
Other than that,
you have also something on the roof. What is that? Is that normal to have that up there?
That's vinyl on the roof. That's the way they built them back then.
And they're always like that.
All the ones in the 30s, or basically almost all 30s are like that till later.
And suicide doors.
Suicide doors.
Suicide doors were just the norm.
Back then, yeah.
I want to take a look under the hood.
Okay.
I want you to tell me a little bit about why this one is so different.
Well, it's not much different than any other 34 Pontiac.
So it's not much different from any other 34, but
no,
it's different in sense of today's standards.
Well, today, it's number one, it's a flathead. Number two, it's a straight 8. Nobody makes a straight 8. Well, they probably have straight 8s out there somewhere. But the only thing under the hood that's different than was an option was the second horn. That's why it sounds like a train.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
No air conditioning, right?
No, they didn't have air conditioning back then. No air conditioning. There's a little cowl up on the top of the, you open it up and air comes in.
Oh. Yeah.
That there pops up.
Well, that's pretty normal for that decade, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Is the hood in the way? No. Here. Where did I get the hair? Right here. You ready?
Nice. Air conditioning on.
Yeah. That comes all the way up, and you get air flowing down off the windshield into the car.
That's cool. Do they make that wiper blade anymore?
Yeah, you can get them. They're out there somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know where, but they're out there.
So
everything's out there.
Nothing's been changed. It's just completely original wires, things like that.
The wires are what I found to be original back when I got the car. I put them on there because the wires that were on there were bad. So same thing with the plugs. They supposedly are plugs that are compatible to the original type plugs.
Is it true that there's no oil filter?
No oil filter on this car. Nope.
That's incredible.
So it's easy to change the oil, and it takes 7 quarts of oil.
And what's up with this air filter over here? Why does it look like that?
It's similar to an oil bath, but it's brass in it. I cleaned it once, and you put oil on it to keep the dust out. The oil sticks. The dust will stick to the oil. So
That's interesting.
that's how it works.
What is your favorite part about the car in general?
Just the way it looks, the condition of it.
It does look great. And the patina, like, is that one of your favorite features
Yeah,
of the
well,
reason you keep this kind of car?
I have other cars, but this one is I like it because of the way it looks, and the patina is nice on it. It's got a little bit of no rust, but it's a
You,
decent car.
you told me something special about this earlier.
Well, this is what you get, the yellow one, when you first become HPOF with the AACA. Then if they deem it to be an original car with hardly anything done to it, you get this piece. And then this one down here is a national award, which I wish they would make it bigger so you could see it.
Yeah.
This car was picked out of 600 historical HPOF cars to get the national award. They pick one a year out
Wow.
of all of them to get that award. And this is the Pontiac Club. Is this
Is that only in Pennsylvania or Pontiac
Pontiac?
National?
It's international. I
That's
go
really
all over
cool.
with the car. And you start out with that. You get junior, senior, and then champion.
So you mentioned there's something in the back, maybe that is
Just
special
the
feature to
only
this
thing, the
car only?
hard, the hard spare tire cover was an option, and this tail light is an option on the car.
Oh, so just like mirrors, like you don't have any mirrors,
No,
or were mirrors an option or not an option at that time?
I don't know. Not on the outside that I know of.
Hmm.
Just the inside one.
So even though it's got this preservation registry and all this stuff, something like this is okay to have damage like this that makes it more original?
It's the original window. If that breaks, I have to replace it, but they can't knock you for anything that's a safety issue. Which if that broke, it's a safety issue.
Interesting.
The front one is starting to delaminate. They call that delamination because there's plastic in between two pieces of glass.
Oh, okay. So I assume it doesn't go out in the rain very often.
No.
So you don't know if it leaks.
Oh no, the roof will leak. That
The
guaranteed.
roof will definitely leak.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do have
Yeah. No, I've
a
sealed it.
conclusion.
I've sealed it, but it will leak, and it's not conducive to being in the rain.
So what's up with these running boards? This is totally normal for the decade, or
They all had that back in the 30s. They all had
Pontiac have
running
something
boards.
special with this or no?
No, not really. The same as all of them.
There's no rust poking through.
Nope.
This is
It's
in really good shape.
surface rust. Yep. It's no rust through at all in this car.
Is this pinstriping? Is this aftermarket or
It
somebody
was on there when I bought the car, and as far as I know, you could have it on the car back in the day. But
probably
as
hand
far as
painted
it
back
being
in the day?
original, I don't know. They don't take points off, or they don't yell at me about it. So not yell at me, but they don't,
Deduct points.
say anything. Yeah, right.
Very nice. No power steering.
No power steering,
No power steering. What
mechanical
is it? Just
brakes,
a shaft goes straight down.
mechanical brakes, which they're cable operated. So you don't have to worry about your master cylinder or wheel cylinders taking a crap.
Oh yes. So let's get
So,
a look underneath. I want to see something. I want you to tell me about the way that the front suspension
all right,
works.
go ahead. They're called knee action shocks. They actually are the whole suspension of the front of the car. If you have to take that off, everything has to come off the wheels, the brakes, everything to fix it. But they lasted a few years, and then they did away with it because they weren't as good as they thought they were going to be.
So this is like a door actuator on like a big door for
Yeah, it
a
could be.
hospital
Yeah,
building or
yeah,
something.
like a door check. Yeah,
Wow.
and you
Okay.
see the springs. The springs back then were wrapped in leather, and they would grease them when it went in for a service. They would undo it and put grease in it to keep them from making noise and to make them last longer, I guess. So, but that's the original leather on there from 1934.
Wow. That's incredible. The integrity of the leather that it's still
The strings are hanging, right?
not really.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple strings hanging. Maybe they rotted off. I don't know. So this is the original mohair interior with the original carpet, which you could tell it's original by the cracks and spaces that are missing. Everything else, the clutch pedals, brake pedal, gas pedal, that's all original to the car. Up here we have our lights, the throttle, the choke, and you have all your gauges over there: fuel gauge, temperature gauge, amp gauge, and oil pressure gauge, and of course the speedometer. And we have 78,000 miles on this 90-year-old car.
Wow.
So only a
It's a three-speed.
single visor,
Three-speed?
three-speed stick shift.
Now, is this real wood or is this some kind of
No,
faux from
that's
even
faux.
back then?
That's faux back then.
It's
Yeah.
faux back then, but I love the screws, the flathead screws on
Yeah,
everything.
That's
They're
everything.
absolutely hold everything on with a flathead
I don't
screw.
know if they had Phillips head screws in 1934. You want to go in the back?
Yeah, what's in the back?
Well,
That opens so gently.
in the back is basically the same thing.
What's this feature?
This is a footrest. You take it out of the way, put luggage there, or you put it up here, you put your feet, you can rest your feet on it when you drive.
Wow.
This is a grab handle, but it's loose, it comes apart. It doesn't work like it used to. But this is a grab handle to help you get up out of the seat. And an ashtray.
Of course. But there's no lid on the ashtray.
No cigarette lighters. No. These are for the windows that I did have them opening years ago, but because of all the rubber deteriorating and stuff and the age of it, they don't really open. So we don't mess with them. And there's a window shade in the back for that back window.
Wow.
But I am not going to touch that because I think if I pull that string, the string's going to break and that whole shade might just fall apart. So
I don't blame you. I would leave it.
It just sits there. Handles help you get in and out.
Electric dome light?
Dome light. Yeah.
Can you get that bulb at Ace Hardware, or is that a special order?
I don't know. I never took it apart. They gigged me on it at a car show one time, but I told them, I said, would you rather have that doesn't work because it's glass? Oh, no, it's plastic. Or would you rather have me take that out and it breaks and I can't get it back and have nothing more? They didn't give me an answer. The light doesn't work. They don't bother me anymore. So that's the end of that. You know, the car, they took points off, and the car is still a champion car. Sounds like a coffin.
Yeah, I want to see over there real quick the suicide doors.
That's how the doors open back. Some even had doors that opened both to the back.
Oh, so you're hopping into from the front.
Well, no, both
like
doors.
Suicide.
Both doors just you would.
Yeah.
You would go into the front.
That's neat. On this car or
No,
on
different cars.
Okay. Well, very good. Thank you so much for describing
You're
the
welcome.
whole experience.
You're welcome.